Today we're diving into a really thorny question, something called financial abortion. The idea is, should a man be able to legally and financially opt out of fatherhood before a child is even born?
I mean, think about it. It's a huge clash of values, right? You've got a man's right to choose on one side and a child's right to support on the other. So let's get right into the heart of it. Should a man be able to just walk away?
Now, this isn't just some philosophical debate people have online. Nope, a real-life court case blew this whole issue wide open. Let's talk about the story of a man named Matt Dubay.
So, meet Matt Dubay. He's from Michigan, and he made it crystal clear to his girlfriend, Lauren Wells, that he did not want to be a father. He apparently believed there was no risk of pregnancy, claiming she told him she was infertile and also on birth control. But then, well, the unexpected happened.
And here's how this deeply personal situation just exploded into a massive national legal battle. After they broke up, Wells told him she was pregnant and that she was planning to keep the baby. Dubay, sticking to his guns about not wanting to be a dad, sued to get out of paying child support. And this thing moved fast all the way up to the U.S. Court of Appeals.
But Dubay's lawsuit wasn't just about his own situation. Not at all. It was this incredibly bold attempt to create a whole new reproductive right for men. Some people even started calling it a Roe v. Wade for men.
The concept itself, which goes by financial or sometimes paper abortion, is pretty straightforward. The idea is that before the baby is born, a man could legally sever all ties, rights, responsibilities, everything. The decision would then be entirely up to the mother.
And for the people who support this, it really just boils down to a question of fairness. They look at it and say, wait a minute, a woman facing an unwanted pregnancy has a few options: abortion, adoption, or parenthood. But a man? Well, if the woman chooses to give birth, he's legally locked into fatherhood.
And that's exactly why his supporters, like the National Center for Men, ran with this powerful label, the Roe v. Wade for Men. Their argument was that if you want true reproductive equality, men have to have the same ultimate choice about their parental status that women do.
Okay, so Dubay's supporters were making this pretty compelling case based on equality, but the court saw things very differently, and their entire decision really hinged on one critical distinction.
The court was decisive. They said comparing this to a woman's right to choose is a false analogy. Why? Because once a child has been conceived and the mother decides to carry that pregnancy to term, the focus completely shifts. It's no longer about the parent's choices, it's about the child's well-being.
So let's break down the court's logic. First and foremost, they said a child's right to be supported by both parents trumps what the father wants. Second, they drew a really important line. A woman's right to choose is fundamentally about bodily autonomy, something that is completely unique to the person physically carrying the child. And finally, there's a practical reason. The state has a very strong interest in making sure parents, not taxpayers, are footing the bill for raising children.
So Dubay's legal fight in the U.S. ended there. But the debate he ignited? It's far from over. In fact, it's a conversation that's happening all over the globe.
Take Denmark, for instance. The idea of a legal abortion for men has been on the table there for more than 2 decades. Proponents argue it's a necessary step for real gender equality, saying that unplanned parenthood impacts a man's life just as profoundly, even if you take the physical side of pregnancy out of the equation.
And, this isn't some fringe idea over there. Not at all. Polls have shown that a really significant number of Danes, around 42% in one poll, and even higher in others, actually support the concept. This proves it's a serious public debate, not just some abstract argument.
And it doesn't stop in Denmark. In 2016, a youth political party in Sweden actually endorsed the idea. More recently, a lawmaker in Argentina even proposed a bill to let men renounce paternity. So yeah, this is a conversation that keeps popping up around the world, really challenging how we think about parenthood and responsibility.
But of course, for every argument in favor of financial abortion, there's a powerful counter-argument about what would actually happen if this became law. And critics keep coming back to one simple but profound question.
This right here is the absolute core of the opposition's concern. They argue that financial abortion doesn't create equality at all. Instead, it just shifts the entire burden, financial, emotional, everything, onto the woman, the child, and ultimately all of us.
I mean, listen to how Kim Gandhi, the former president of the National Organization for Women, put it. She basically said this isn't some new progressive right. It's just a legal way to let men do what some have been trying to do for centuries, avoid their parental duties.
And the potential fallout is pretty serious.
Think about it. Could a man use the threat of opting out to pressure a woman into an abortion she doesn't want? What happens to the fundamental right of a child to be supported by both parents? And if the father is out of the picture financially, who picks up the slack? It falls to the mother, and if she can't handle it, it falls to the state.
And the economic stakes here are incredibly high. Just look at this data from Spain. It shows that single-mother households are already at a much, much higher risk of poverty. Critics argue that legalizing financial abortion would just pour gasoline on that fire, pushing even more single mothers and their children into serious financial trouble.
So when you strip it all away, this entire massive debate really boils down to a fundamental disagreement over one thing. What does gender equality actually mean when it comes to having kids?
You've really got two competing visions. On one side, there's the call for identical rights. The logic is simple. If a woman can end her parental obligations, a man should be able to too. It's equality as sameness. But on the other side, you have this idea of asymmetrical rights. This view says that, hey, true equality means we have to acknowledge the undeniable biological reality that only women can get pregnant. The rights might be different, but they should be balanced to create a fair outcome for everyone involved: the man, the woman, and of course, the child.
And that leaves us right here, with this huge philosophical question. What is real fairness? Is it about giving every single person the exact same set of choices no matter what? Or is it about building a system that acknowledges our different realities in order to reach a just result? There are absolutely no easy answers here, but it's a conversation that we definitely need to be having.